They say that on the coldest of nights, when the world lies silent under a blanket of snow, the mountains themselves seem to hold their breath. That's when it happens. A sound, drifting through the stillness, not the sharp, piercing howl of a wolf, but something softer, richer. A song, a melody that chills the bone and stirs the heart at the same time. Imagine being alone on a winter trail, your breath turning to frost, when from the shadows you hear a voice so hauntingly beautiful you cannot tell if it belongs to man, beast, or something far older. This is the legend of the wolf who sang at midnight, a story that refuses to die, passed down from traveller to traveller, generation after generation. But the question lingers, is it nothing more than a myth woven from fear, or could it be a forgotten truth hiding in the folds of time? The legend is not tied to a single place. Across Europe, in villages scattered among the mountains, the story appears again and again. Parents warned their children not to step outside when the church bell struck 12, for that was when the midnight singer roamed. They said his song was not for ears of the living, that it was a lullaby for the dead, a mournful hymn carrying across valleys to call wandering souls home. Some swore the notes were sweet and calming, like a mother's song. Others claimed the melody clawed at their hearts, filling them with dread. How could one voice sound so different to each listener? Was it just imagination twisting an ordinary howl into something greater, or did the wolf truly sing to each person's soul in its own mysterious way? Travellers who braved the lonely roads at night often returned with stories that defied logic. One described trudging through the dense forest when the air grew heavy, vibrating with a sound so low it made his chest ache. He thought it was wind rushing through the trees until he realized the notes were too precise, too deliberate. Another swore his horse stopped dead in the snow, refusing to move forward, trembling as if sensing a presence far greater than itself. And then, from the crest of a ridge, he saw it, a wolf unlike any he had ever seen, its fur silvered by the moonlight, head tilted back, its mouth open not in a howl, but in what looked and felt like a song meant for the heavens. He claimed the melody was so sorrowful, it left him weeping without understanding why. The most curious part of this legend is how consistent it is, no matter the land or language. From the windswept Carpathians to the misty Pyrenees, stories told in hushed voices share the same detail. A wolf who sang at midnight. Some described it as a blessing, a messenger from another realm, bridging the living and the dead with his voice. Others believed it was a curse, the spirit of a man trapped in the form of a beast, paying for sins committed long ago, his eternal punishment to sing his grief to the moon for all eternity. And so whenever the strange melody rose from the mountains, villagers would cross themselves, whispering prayers, unsure whether they were being protected or haunted. What makes this story different from most wolf legends is that the midnight singer is not feared for his teeth or claws, but for his voice. Villagers said hearing him was both terrifying and mesmerizing, like a beautiful painting you cannot look away from, even though it unsettles you. Some reported feeling pulled closer, as if the melody whispered their name. Others ran, claiming the sound followed them long after they left, echoing in their dreams. Could there be a scientific explanation? Could a wolf, by sheer chance, have developed unusual vocal cords capable of producing harmonies instead of howls? Or was this something beyond science, something only folklore dares to touch? Modern scientists have tried to analyze these stories. They explain that wolves can produce harmonic howls when multiple members sing together, but in these tales it was always just one wolf. Some suggest infrasound, tones too low for the human ear, yet powerful enough to make people feel uneasy. Others say that no wolf could ever sound so eerily human. Perhaps the most chilling story comes from 1897, when a shepherd claimed the wolf's song was so human-like he thought it was a woman crying. When he followed the sound, he found no person, only paw prints in the snow leading up a mountain. At the peak he swore he saw the wolf standing against the wind, its song echoing for miles. So myth or forgotten truth, the wolf who sang at midnight remains a mystery, a creature caught between folklore and possibility. Perhaps it never existed, or perhaps somewhere in the endless wild, one wolf still raises its voice to the moon in a song older than time. The choice is yours. Do you believe it's only a story, or is the midnight singer still out there waiting for someone to listen? Some say the wolf was once human, a betrayed warrior cursed by the moon goddess, doomed to wander in a beast's body until he could sing his sorrow to the stars. Others claim he was a guardian spirit, using his song to warn villages of oncoming danger. In 1612, when a plague swept through, villagers swore the wolf's midnight song grew louder, as if mourning the dead. The curse, or compassion, nobody could tell. As centuries passed, the midnight song was heard less often. By the 1800s, it became more of a story than an encounter. Scholars dismissed it as folklore, while poets romanticized the wolf song in their writings. Yet, strange reports continued to surface. Travellers described hearing faint music in the forest, music that wasn't carried by any instrument. Some even claimed to have recorded it, though no evidence remains. Was the wolf fading away, or simply waiting for the right night? In recent decades, hikers and campers in the Carpathian mountains have reported hearing an unearthly melody at midnight. Phones picked up strange audio interference, resembling both a howl and a song. One hiker described it as a voice that felt like it came from the earth itself. Could the wolf still exist in some hidden valley, or is it merely the echo of a story so powerful that it refuses to die? And so the question remains, was the midnight wolf a myth, born of fear, or a forgotten truth hidden in time? Every culture has its stories of creatures that straddle the line between worlds. The banshee, the siren, the skinwalker. Perhaps this wolf was no different, a guardian or a warning wrapped in song, and perhaps, just maybe, on the right night, under the right moon, if you listen closely, you might still hear the wolf who sang at midnight. In 1973, a Romanian researcher named Daciana Petrescu claimed she captured the wolf's midnight song on reel-to-reel tape while camping deep in the Carpathians. She described the sound as a blend of a baritone voice and a wolf's howl, layered with something that didn't seem earthly. Weeks later, her cabin mysteriously burned down, destroying all of her work. Neighbors swore they saw a massive wolf pacing outside her home the night before the fire. Her only surviving note read, "It is not a wolf, it is a voice trapped between worlds." Stranger still, declassified Cold War documents hint that Soviet intelligence once investigated the singing wolf. Files referenced unexplained acoustic phenomena recorded in the Carpathians, and some even theorized it could be a natural weapon, an animal modified to emit infrasound that altered human perception. But the documents end abruptly, with entire pages blacked out. Was it all paranoia, or did governments know more than they admitted? And so we return to the question that began this journey. Myth or forgotten truth? Perhaps the midnight wolf was never meant to be understood. Perhaps it was a mirror of humanity's own longing, fear and grief. But if the stories are true, if a voice still sings at the edge of our world, then somewhere on a night when the moon burns brightest, the wolf waits, not to be hunted, not to be feared, but to remind us that even in the silence of the wild, there are songs older than history itself, waiting for us to listen.